Hi, my name is Carla Smith, and I'm the host of the new podcast, Leveling Above the Clicks, Real Business, Real Stories. And I'm here with Raven Smith, my daughter, who's also known as Queen K Hollywood, international makeup artist. She's also a Stoughton Middle School alumni and a Stoughton High School alumni.
Can you introduce yourself, your business, and where it's located?
Sure. I'm Carla Smith, and I'm also the owner of Reese's Marvelous Hats, and I'm the author of the book Leveling Above the Clicks, and my store is at 743 Washington Street.
And by the way, your store is beautiful. Love your store and your book. For those who don't know, what is Leveling Above the Clicks?
Well, I was thinking, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs locally in the Stoughton area and surrounding towns, and I was thinking about a way that I can bring them on and have them tell their business story, because everybody has a business story. So I wanted them to come and highlight them, and so that people locally can be empowered and also know about the businesses in the area.
Awesome. I love that. So what is the podcast Real Business, Real Stories all about?
So, in business, you have challenges, you have successes. So this gives entrepreneurs an opportunity to tell what those challenges are, because they never know who they may be able to help, and even the successes, so that they can be congratulated on their business as well, and also to share their business tips.
I love that. Okay. So what inspired you to become an entrepreneur?
They will have to read my book to know that.
Okay, y'all got to read her book. You heard that? Read her book. So can you share how you started Reese's Marvelous Hats? Where did it all come about?
I love hats, and I saw that there weren't any hat stores in a 20-mile radius from where I lived. And so I was like, it would be a good idea to have hats and a hat store in the area.
Love that. Okay. So can you share more? Hold on. Okay. What was one of the biggest challenges you faced, and how did you overcome them?
Well, being an entrepreneur, you always have challenges. For me, there was family illnesses. It was family situations, like we had to bring my mom in to come live with us. Then we also had, some tragedies. We lost a few family members. But what got me through all those challenges was my faith in family and friends, and their encouragement that despite I was going through all these things, to continue on with my journey and don't give up.
Okay. And what is a proud moment that made you feel leveled up?
Probably the proudest moment is my grand opening of my store, is when all my friends, families, and locals came and celebrated my grand opening with me.
Yeah, the grand opening was fire. It was amazing. There was a lot of people, nice energy. It was awesome. I was very, very, very proud of her. Very proud of her. Opening a store, that's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so what keeps you motivated when your business gets tough? Because I know as a business owner, it gets tough. Sometimes, as you say, you want to throw in the towel. It's tough. So what do you do when it gets tough?
A lot of prayer. But I continue to think about my mission, and it's not even just about hats. It's not even about selling. Sometimes it's just about how you make people feel. Like when people come into the store and they say they experienced alopecia, or they went through chemo and they was looking for a nice hat, to cover their head. Stories like that is what keeps me going, and I realize there's a reason for me having this hat store in Stoughton.
There definitely is. So what inspired you to create this podcast?
Because over the years of doing pop-ups and doing all these vendor events, I met a whole slew of entrepreneurs, and people don't know about them, you know? So I was like, what can I do, you know, so that people will know about all these businesses? So that's the goal.
Okay, and what do you hope your listeners will gain from this podcast?
They'll be encouraged, and if they're entrepreneurs, they'll see the importance of not giving up despite the challenges, because there will be challenges, and to know that there's other entrepreneurs who's going through the same things that they may be going through. And they also may gain some business tips, because you never know what kind of business tips these entrepreneurs going to drop. You never know what kind of business tips I may drop during this podcast. So it will definitely be enlightening for everyone who watches it.
Yes, it definitely will, because it's nice to watch someone that you can relate to, you know, seeing them make it happen, and, you know, just the behind the scenes, because I feel like this podcast is like behind the scenes, showing people what they don't know and see. So I feel like this podcast definitely will help a lot of business owners, and not just business owners, just people overall and all over the world.
Oh, thank you.
So what makes this podcast different?
It's different because it's going to be raw stories. You know, a lot of times when you see entrepreneurs, you just see the success side. You don't see all the raw details of what it took for them to continue their journey in entrepreneurship. So we're going to keep it real, and we're going to talk about the real things that affect, you know, people as business owners, and how they overcome it.
I love that. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to watch this podcast. So do you have advice for struggling entrepreneurs, that's, you know, having a little hard time, they're not really motivated, or just, you know, do you have any advice for them?
Yeah, just keep it going, keep grinding. You know, you may not see results right away, but keep going on your journey.
Yes, I agree. I also feel like for entrepreneurs too, don't look at the numbers all the time, you know, don't look at views, don't look at how much, you know, when you really love what you're doing, you're passionate about it, you know, just keep going, like you said. So I agree. That's definitely true. So any tips for marketing, sales, or mindset?
Like you said, it's not about likes or views, you know, it's just about you, and just, you know, that you know what it means for producing. You know your definition of success. Your definition of success is not going to be like my definition of success. So you can't let other people's definition of success be your story. Make your own story, and continue on the journey. So my thing is always continue on the journey, continue to level up. You know, look at where you started and look at where you are, and always think and create ways that you can level up. You know, like for me, I started from pop-ups, and now I have a brick and mortar store.
Yes, that's true. I love that. It is all about, it's not about where you started, it's about where you are today. So I agree. You can remember where you started, but look where you are and grown today. I agree with that. So do you have a favorite quote you want to share?
Absolutely. I always say this, and I mention this in my book. A lot of times in business, you cry, you sweat, you know, and you want to throw in a towel. But instead of throwing in a towel, you use that towel to wipe the sweat, wipe the tears, and you keep it moving. Continue on your journey.
Keep it moving. It's all right to let the tears drop, but keep it moving. I love that. So what's an important tool you keep nearby?
A notebook.
A notebook. I love that, because I feel like writing everything down, get it out your brain, release it from your brain, write it on the paper, and put it into the atmosphere.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. So how can people connect with you?
So I'm on every social media platform, and all they have to do is search Reese's Marvelous Hats, and I pop up everywhere.
You definitely do. You definitely do. Okay. Any final messages would like to share?
Yeah, I just want to say continue to level up. You know, this is your journey. Don't let no one define what you're doing. And I also want to take the time to thank Stoughton Media Access Center for having us, and SMAC. I appreciate this opportunity to be able to talk to entrepreneurs about leveling up. And thank you for interviewing me. I appreciate you.
Yes, of course. I'm glad to interview my mama. And go buy her book.